Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the I want to thank all our tier support over our Patreon, patreon.com. Those being every now and then, water, so thank you all very much for support over the years. And if you're watching online, please sit back, relax, enjoy. And we're live.
Welcome back, everyone. It's been a long time since I was sitting in this seat on this day. But welcome to the return to the Stardust RPG, Trails of Stardust. I am William, and I am your game master for this 5th edition game. Welcome to Trails of Stardust, the Godsblood Crisis, which is our fancy subtitle for the second half of this game. Joining me today, as we return to old characters once again, we have Jack.
Hey everybody, I'm Jack. I'm playing Till Wayland. He is an avian Way of the Iron Path monk.
And Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy, and I'm playing Kendall Fairchild. She is an Eladrin warlock.
Archfey warlock, right?
Archfey warlock, rich
warlock
girl.
Of daddy.
Yes. She's a lot. She's
Yes,
the best.
And Sen,
And I'm playing Coltarn Starbreaker, who is a Master Maker, Gadgeteer, Master Maker, Artificer, Master Maker, Master.
That was my favorite.
What?
So Jeremy, consider Orcus, but they just keep making more of them nested inside each other. It's like a Russian doll.
Yeah, just a.
Specifically the Gadgeteer and the Artificer
Thanks,
class
I hate
both
it.
have a Master Maker archetype.
Yeah, I am a double master. Orc.
Double Maker.
Double Maker. Master Double Maker.
And Holly?
Mother Maker, Master Mold.
I'm Holly. I'm playing Mistle. She is a rogue thief. Oh, and an Envarn.
Yes. And Craig?
The bees are back in town. I'm playing bees, a swarm or a hive of nocturne and torch bees that collectively form a swarm keeper ranger.
And for one night only, until their schedule allows them to rejoin us once again, we have Ashlyn.
Hi, I'm Ashland, and I will be playing Varouche. I'll rule the Loxodon Paladin.
He's a cop. Get him.
And to set the scene for
Also.
where we've... Oh, yes, also.
Oh, yes.
Trans rights are human rights, Black Lives Matter, Eat the Rich.
Powered by Sirenscape.
And the stream is powered by Sirenscape.
Oh, is it?
I mean, it probably will be at some point.
The stream might potentially be powered by Sirenscape sometime in the indeterminate future.
We're waiting on the company to do
Schrodinger's Sirenscape, if you will.
When I remember and learn how to properly manage the Sirenscape tab. Or when Sen decides to take over that for me again like he did on Wednesday.
Heavy.
I feel like that was a hint.
I don't know where we're at right now, so I'm going to pick some random stuff.
I mean, yeah, just generic sci-fi sounds works.
It's going to be Benny Hill in the background while we're doing recap.
You say that as though it's not thematically appropriate.
Yeah, no.
But when last we left our heroes, they had, through the course of their actions, helped to free the world of Sevarinus from an oppressive imperial regime that had been operating in service to demons, especially the demon lord, who has been prophesied as a threat to all of reality. After an investigation throughout the city and the underground of the city, after overthrowing the Empire, the group discovered the creations of the former mad scientist leader of this, the head scientist of this empire, and his son, Xander Leiden, in the labs underneath the city in the sewers.
Really quick, I want to apologize to anyone listening that might have gotten a couple audio there for a second. I realized that we were still using the application audio input from that we used for a while and then stopped using because it broke. It apparently was working again, but it also wasn't picking up the background. So I had to pop it over. Audio up.
Yeah. After retrieving Xander and inviting some friends, by friends I mean family, and by family I mean parents, to assist in bringing this world out of the galactically sheltered fugue that it had been in for some decades or centuries, and meeting an all too interesting individual by the name of Chuck. The group having, with Mistel having heard that the most recent sighting that Chuck had seen of Invarns was on the world of Fallen Thornwood. The group, as they prepared to depart this world, were deciding on where to go. The floated destination, unless all of you are suddenly of different mind, having had several years pass and forgetting things, was Fallen Thornwood for a number of reasons.
Fallen Thornwood was the headquarters of Fairchild Industries as well as... Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, Fallen Thornwood is the headquarters of Fairchild Industries, also known as Kendall's home.
Yep.
And also the last place that Mistel, that Chuck, at the very least, had seen anyone that matches the description of Mistel's parents or any environments.
We didn't have any other missions at the
Not that you particularly know of.
We haven't checked in with the adventurers. I was gonna say we haven't checked in with the Adventurers Guild very much recently.
And there is an Adventurers Guild on Fallen Thornwood, so you could check in when you get there.
Yep. Yes, we also have the Hellblade that needs to stay in its box, otherwise the big fuck off space dragon might find us again.
I remember that is the first thing that's been said that I remember.
And on board the Golnaj Valkyr, I believe we have so Xander Leiden. We convinced him to come along effectively as our science officer / lab monkey.
Yes. And
He's the guy we found,
He's the guy who helped us send out the full kill command for all the leftover demon troopers on Severinus.
Yeah, he's the guy. Okay, yep. I remember him.
And Jasira is also nerd. Right, the half-elf nerd. And Jasira Zatrin is also on board.
Yes.
Who is stepdaughter, something of the actual demon king of Sarheim, correct?
Right.
Yes, who is the Cambion daughter of the
Dystagmos Zatrin?
Of Dystagmos.
Once again,
the demon
daddy issues the campaign.
I mean, you're not wrong.
So yeah, I mean, Till's vote is for Fallen Thornwood. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We haven't seen any Invarin at any point along the way other than Mistel, right?
No.
Okay.
Mistel hasn't seen any Invarin she's been searching for over a year. So
Okay.
And from what you know of galactic records of history of the Invarans, that's something of a good and bad thing, in that the Invarans have a painful history, in that when their world was first discovered, it was by pirates. and the Invarans who had been hiding on these small islands that make up their world were taken as pets and slaves and scattered significantly throughout the galaxy.
Lot of human trafficking of Invarans.
They were put into lanterns.
Yeah,
They were
basically.
made to listen to pirate captains playing pianos.
Yeah, something like that.
They were made to deliver bombs back to little boys.
But
Tinkerbell, that's what I'm saying.
since the reclamation of the planet and the establishment of the Invaran Monastery as a place of introspection and self-reflection, the trade of native Invarans as slaves has been put to an end. But that doesn't mean that there aren't a lot of Invarans still out there in the galaxy.
A diaspora, if you will.
Yes. But a few days have passed since the ship departed from the planet of Savaranus, and assuming that the destination of Fallen Thornwood sounds good to everyone, you emerge from the Void Gate in the Thornwood system, and the ship begins to make course for Fallen Thornwood. Upon reaching orbit, you are hailed by the docking facilities of the capital city. Known as God, why am I forgetting the names of my own works? Well, because it's been years. Because it's been literal years.
Yeah.
Let me pull up my notes.
This ship was given to us effectively by Flyus Fairchild, correct? And
essentially, by nature of the individuals that he had under his employ, which included the original crew of the ship.
Was it intended at some point along the line, I think, that for whatever reason that was supposed to sort of stay under wraps in terms of information?
Not necessarily. It was just a matter of the ship is yours because the crew that owns it has other ships and doesn't mind giving this one up for the price that they were paid for it.
Okay.
Can Bees talk to Mistel as we're on our way?
Yeah, good.
At some point in the journey, Bees will sort of drift around over to Mistel. I assume Mistel and Bees are pretty much staying together at this point. I mean, Bees have sort of infested a large part of the observation deck, if I recall correctly, but
yes.
They are kind of omnipresent. So some of the Bees will come over and say, "Do Invarans swarm?
Do we what?
Do you swarm? Should there be a lot of you?"
No. I mean, like, there were a lot on the planet that I was on, but...
But you'd like there to be more than one, right?
I'd like to find my family.
Just let us know how we can help.
Okay.
But if you find them, you'll still be part of us, right? Are you going to stay?
She will pause. I haven't thought that far ahead.
Okay.
Let's just see what happens, okay?
Okay. That's all. I wanted to do that before we got there.
I don't know how much everyone else spends in the engine room. But being the most qualified engineer, not the only qualified engineer, but the most qualified engineer on the ship, Coltarn has been spending most of his time in there, just making sure the ship keeps running. And at some point, over the course of the travel to Fallen Thornwood, some of you may have noticed that Coltarn's right arm has been replaced by some mechanical by a mechanical arm, and that his right eye has also been replaced by a mechanical arm.
Is that
By
the
a
arm that-
mechanical arm, his right eye is replaced by a mechanical
Yes.
arm.
Excellent.
By a mechanical
That
eye.
kicks ass.
By a cybernetic eye. But
That's good.
Is that the arm that had all like the void shit on it?
yeah, that had previously had all the void shit on it.
Okay.
Well, occasionally had the void shit on it. 'Cause it didn't
Right.
always.
Got it. Bees, you had been sort of teaching Bees, or at least Bees had been trying to get you to teach Bees some engineering stuff. So is that still sort of ongoing?
Was I teaching Bees engineering or teaching Bees how to drive?
Basically, anything having to do with vehicles, Bees wants to learn.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you're in
That
there,
would-
Bees was probably
yeah, that
there
would- that would still
handing
be
you the
going on.
wrong wrench.
That would still be going on.
Kendall, I think, has been fairly on the trip here, has been very not present.
Yeah, the name of the capital city, which translates from Elven to Galactic Basic, is roughly speaking High Bark. Is
Hi, Bart.
it hails the ship as Till's.
Oh,
bringing
hi,
in
Bark.
of it.
Oh, hi, Bar.
I'm gonna regret that.
High Bark Landing Authority. This is the Golden Age Volcair. Requesting docking access.
Docking access granted, Golnash Volkir. You are clear for docking bay 13.
Can he tell based on what's incoming? Is this one of those planets that autopilots you in, or is he going to be flying this in manually?
They have an autopilot system that is attempting to initiate docking procedures.
All right, he'll key over ship access to that then, and just keep an eye out on things on the bridge.
Just because they are a large merchant hub and they like things to not crash into their docks.
Yeah, that makes sense. Has Kendall been on the bridge at all?
Nope.
As we've come into okay.
Nope, not at all. Like, she's been living in her room.
Okay. He'll just key over the ship's PA system and then. High Bark landing protocols are engaged. We're on autopilot. I'll be on the bridge if anybody needs anything, but we should be making planet fall shortly. Just everywhere so everybody knows.
The acknowledge.
Great, awesome.
I think Varouche is actually up there with you already, and he's just like, good. That was good.
Thanks. Yeah. No, I think we're. It's almost like we're professionals.
Yeah. Don't jinx it.
Till does like a little rhythmic tap on a couple keys and part of the pilot's chair. You know, the normal sort of spacer to
Knock on wood.
avoid. Right? Yeah. It's the spacer version of knock on wood. Yeah, absolutely.
So a few moments pass as the Gulnaj brings itself into dock, and as docking clamps latch on and hold your ship in place, and a boarding ramp is extended to allow the ship to maintain position while still hovering off the ground in this elevated docking position. You hear the sound of the airlock pressurizing to the exterior atmosphere. And you are ready to disembark if need be.
Till check all his gear, make sure he's got everything intact.
Yep.
We want to assemble for disembark.
There's a sort of
Let's go.
papery tearing sound as 84 dozen of the torch bees pour into the armor, and it sort of rips itself back out of the wall, and entombed, and starts sort of shambling over towards the off ramp.
Till will swing by Kendall's cabin then.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Fairchild,
Yes, yeah, yep. I'm coming.
Well, no rush. Have you reached out to your father or anything? Are we expected to make an appearance?
No, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's everything's
To
okay.
be fair, when you left the planet, your father and Koltarn's father were still doing negotiations with Savarinus.
Yeah, I just didn't know if they were physically present for that or doing it via communicator. So
No, they had both actually arrived for that.
Oh,
Okay.
okay,
So you actually here with them not on planet.
okay.
At least unless they got here faster than you did. Which I mean is
not
not
outside the realm of possibility. No. I'm sure it's fine. I didn't think that we're good.
All right. I know Mistel's expressed her concerns about being able to find some of her people here on FT, and you have a level of local expertise. So if you have any suggestions,
Yeah.
I'm sure she'd be grateful for.
Sure.
All right. Well, we're all getting ready to leave, so
Yep, I'm coming.
we'll wait for you. And yeah, he's just gonna go post up by the docking ramp.
I'll have the I'll have the experimental frame on because it's useful to have, though not like it's almost like an exosuit rather than fully armored right now.
Mhm.
Okay.
I was just wondering, have we seen that on?
Yeah, no, you've seen the exosuit. The exosuit I was
Okay.
using while we were on. There.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll head out to trade up.
The cat has decided it's taking Jack's
Oh,
place.
Yep, apparently.
Cat. I couldn't figure out what it was.
Just hopped right up there and made himself at home.
Johnny,
Asshole.
do I know if there are any parts that we need right now for the full notch is damaged in any way specifically that needs repair?
No, the Walnut is in pretty good condition.
Okay.
It did pretty solid on the recent encounters.
So then, checking in with the Adventurers Guild and looking for Envar. The objective for the day?
Okay.
Could be.
That was a question.
Yes. Please.
Can check with the Void Gate databases down here.
See if there's been any other incursions.
Any other incursions? If anybody's tried to go through a gate, smuggling environs, anything like that.
And fortunately, the gate for the void gate in this vicinity is like in the middle of this system, and as much as it is its own space station, you can reach it from signals from Fallen Thornwood. So it shouldn't be too hard to check in with the void gate from here.
Okay.
That's sort of why Fallen Thornwood is here, is because they picked the planet that was literally adjacent to one of the main void gates to pass through most of the galaxy.
What is the star like here, and what is the quality of light like when we disembark?
So Fallen Thornwood exists in a single star system that has a white dwarf as its source of sunlight. The extreme radiance of this star, coupled with the distance that Fallen Thornwood has, puts the planet in basically perpetual spring and summer. It doesn't really get much in the way of winter.
Okay.
Which is part of why it was ideal for natural order elements and other nature-aligned individuals to build a cityscape of their own design along most of the planet's surface.
Thank you.
We know.
I was gonna say she'll eventually come out in like a sort of a wrap top, like super short jean shorts,
Candle.
swaying just slightly. just slightly.
Do we know, other than that the environment's been spotted, do we get any other information, or just that they came through?
There were no specifics.
Yeah, I think it was just this is a good place to look.
He said that he'd seen
Oh,
at least one of my people here.
But no indication of what the situation was. So,
Yeah, like were they like?
I think it was sort of and correct me if I'm wrong, William, but he mentioned it was like kind of an in passing thing.
Yeah, it was very
Okay.
much a sort of an in-passing thing that he just noticed, because Chuck notices many things.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck has eyes and ears everywhere.
yeah,
I mean, like,
disgusting.
was it like just on the street, saw one walking by, or like did it seem like a
Possibly.
captivity situation?
I think this is all they said. I don't
Okay.
know.
Likely we could interface with digital records on the planet and see if there's any official notations on that sort of thing. Population demographics, census data, maybe. I don't know.
I mean,
Honestly, the guild will probably be the best place to figure out where to start looking.
find an information broker that might have a means or already have the information we're looking for.
Can I make an insight check?
For what?
Is Kendall dressed for a party or not?
Go ahead and roll
Is
insight.
Kindle ever not just for a party?
I
Is
mean
this
that is a fair
specific-
point.
Is this specifically like, oh, Kendall you can tell by somebody's wardrobe when they walk
I
out
don't
of their
think you need
quarters.
to roll for at least this.
Okay.
This is how like I think Till would know. This is how Kendall used to dress here
Okay.
When she was among the socialites of
when
the
she was among when she was like not trying to explore the galaxy for reasons
she's-
that had everything to do with exploring the galaxy and not other reasons. This
She's
is
back.
this-
She's back in her plastics wardrobe.
yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Yes, very much so. So like if I mean we could check I'm sure if they were like if they came here above board kind of thing, like sure they're gonna be in the records unless they went in through other ways.
It's really bright and warm here.
Right? It's the best.
We like it. You grew up here?
Uh-huh.
And bees kind of buzz a little closer and they say, "We see why you get unhappy when you're not here."
She just blinks at that a couple of times.
So
You
adventures
say
Guild
the
then.
you say the funniest things.
Yeah, let's head off.
That intelligence roll was that Till does not know anything about axial tilt on planetary bodies as the primary reason for seasonal change.
The relevant thing is that
Planets be like that sometimes, man.
Yeah. Like, the thing about Fallen Thornwood is it's not like dead on like zero tilt on its axis, but it is it is a very narrow tilt compared to the sun, to the
Right.
point that most of the planet suffers the same season around the same time, and it typically just shifts from summer to spring and back.
Right. Yeah, no. Okay. Absolutely makes sense if it's mostly vertical.
Kendall, do either of you know where the field is, or are we just going to wander?
Till has actually spent very little time on Fallen Thornwood directly. He got called in from Gilgamesh Station as effectively he worked at Starbucks in New York City, got yanked to Seattle to say, "Hey, can you take care of the CEO's daughter?" And said, "I guess I don't have a choice." And
I
then
mean,
immediately got flung back out into the
Congratulations, you've been
galaxy.
promoted.
Right? Yeah. It's like, oh, thanks.
correct me if I'm wrong. Feel free to correct me, Shawnee. But like, I feel like Adventurers Guild would very much be the place where, like, it when spoiled rich girls want to go have adventure,
Oh,
they
100%.
go hang out there, which mostly consists of flirting with the people
With
there
the actual
and like
adventurers, yeah.
being sent out on like a adventure, which is like just a chaperone like trip
Yeah,
just barely out of the city.
Like adventuring teams occasionally get like contracted for bodyguard duty for some spoiled
Right.
rich kid who wants to go out and have an adventure. And typically speaking, it's considered a chore, but at the same time, it's like easy money.
It pays well.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent of just going to hang out at the ski lodge to see if any of the snow patrol wants to take you with them.
100%.
Right.
It's like, look, we'll give you a gun, we'll let you shoot a few things, and then we'll get you back home. And
Right. And then
Yeah.
we'll tell your parents to pay us money.
Yes, exactly.
and then your parents pay.
So
Everybody
Kendall probably
wins.
knows exactly where it is.
Everybody wins except for that person.
That's the other guild.
Professional Victims Guild.
Yes. So-
this way.
Yes, to emerge, you emerge out of the ship and find yourself on a docking station made entirely of wood. Everything, as far as the eye can see, it appears to be grown. Like there are bits of metal, like sort of interwoven in certain places for decoration and like accent, but the majority of the construction of this city is grown from a variety of different natural materials. As is the habit of natural order and their proclivities.
Oh yeah, no. Till has like a very sort of like he's significantly less snobby about the engineering of this particular setting than he has been on occasion previously.
And there appear to be like nature grown and engineered replications of basically most things that you would typically ascribe to tech. As you sort of step out of the hangar, there's an elevator that is like a wooden leaf. There's like a wooden and leaf made platform that just sort of seems to like flow down on like a variety of ivy vines that moves at about the same speed of a regular elevator. That just sort of slowly descends down to the ground floor of the spaceport.
Question: Is the Volnash Glonash Volkir like the cradle arms that are holding it? Is it just like a tree or a vine just like grew out and wrapped around it and is holding it in place?
Essentially, it's sort of like a wooden massive roots just sort of extended out from the side and just wrapped around the fins of the ship to hold it in place.
Look back at the ship. It's odd to see something that's shaped like an axe head being held by a giant tree.
Huh?
Just gestures, because if I'm recalling correctly, the ship is shaped like an axe head.
Yeah, like the all Orcish ships have a vaguely axe head shape. They're all like wedge forward.
Vertical wedge design, yeah. Yep.
It's like gestures.
Huh.
Yes, well, natural order engineering tends to be on a much more sustainable and holistic design, as I'm sure you're probably aware.
How much do I know about natural order engineering?
Roll me technology.
Trying to remember if I have anything special with my technology roll or not. Nope. Do that. Back. Technologic. 18.
most of Natural Order's technology is, like, as you see here, grown and shaped by druidic means, and by extensive genetic engineering. Like the primary craft of Golnash, or not Golnash, of Natural Order engineers and construction agents is a very particular form of druidism, in which they can weave designs and engineered ideas into the seeds of plants that will then grow into the shapes that are desired.
Does that mean you have to have a druid to build anything?
I mean, it's more that it's less that you have to have a druid to engineer, and more that your engineers are druids.
Yeah, but I mean, like for instance, with an orc ship, you don't have to be a particular kind of person in order to pick up a hammer and knock something together.
No, but you have to have learned to pick up the hammer and knock things together, unless
Right.
you're just doing like they still have menial line work, like people who will just take basic bits of wood and shape them with tools. But like,
Yeah.
just like an engineer studies years to learn how to build a spaceship, a Natural Order engineer learns and studies for years on how to shape seeds into buildings.
Mhm.
Yep.
But like somebody like Till, who doesn't really have any magical bent, but is still a Natural Order shipwright, utilizes druid crafted materials for a lot of his stuff that he does.
Yeah.
So he's not the one making the genetic modifications to raw materials, but then those are the sort of materials he gravitates towards that have their preset genetics already put into them.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
it basically means that manufacturing is a like literally part of the life cycle of any Natural Order world. Because manufacturing is literally growing things.
Oh, I'm aware. It's just amusing to see different technological vectors interface.
And that isn't to say there's no metal. Like I said, like you have like computer kiosks and things. It's very hard to grow an organic computer. It's been done, but it's typically a pricey thing. Someone who doesn't want to touch any metal in their life might have someone build an organic, like
tech
Natural
vegans.
Natural Order grown computer. But there's still plenty of metal and circuitry around in places that druidism is not easily covered.
Man, it must suck to try to speak with plants on Natural Order technology. They have to be just like, how are you doing? My purpose is to compute. What's wrong with this tree?
How far from the docks is the Adventurers Guild?
Relatively close, as you
Okay.
might surmise, all things
Mhm.
considered.
Makes sense.
Kindle, the whole way there is just waving at people like.
And yeah, as you leave the dock, you are like briefly greeted by a docking agent who just basically lets you know that your docking fee's been handled by Fairchild Industries because your ship came in registered as Fairchild. So
Mr. Like a small child is sitting on Kindle's shoulder and mimicking her, like waving to people.
Are people waving back? What do people look like in response to this show by Kendall?
A lot of people just sort of continue on about their day, but it does seem like a number of people recognize Kendall and either out of recognition, obligation, or just general good manners will wave back in in most cases.
Okay.
There seems to be an air of recognition around Kendall wherever she goes. She seems to be a rather public figure on this planet.
We're gonna turn a corner and there's gonna be a billboard with her on it.
Till is definitely like a step and a half ahead and slightly off to the right, doing his bodyguard positioning, and just keeping an eye out for anybody who looks like they're on a vector to actually directly approach.
So this is a genuine question for Jeremy. Do you think that Kendall would have done any advertising work or like modeling work for Fairchild Industries? Because your father would have let you if you wanted to, if you showed any interest, but he wasn't gonna, force you.
I think maybe briefly, like very much in that whole, like, I want to figure out what I'm going to do. And like somebody who is really passionate about this one thing for like 2 weeks.
She had her
And
modeling
then
phase.
moves on to the other thing for like 2 weeks. And then moves on to the other thing for 4 weeks. And the next thing's like a week. Like, so a little bit, but not like much.
So perhaps it's in fact slightly embarrassing when you round a corner and you hear one of the like holographic projectors playing one of the few advertisements that you actually did. It's talking about Fairchild Industries bringing rejuvenation and regrowth to everything you could possibly need, from shipping to transport to home fashion. And it's just a moving image of Kendall in a variety of different situations, showing off like.
Sorry, we're turned on to the wrong corner. There's another one. There's a quicker way.
I wanted to see that.
Nope, not that important. But yeah, she is like full. She is in her most Elwood's moment right now.
Yes.
But eventually, you find your way to the doors of the Adventurers Guild.
Oh,
and the
you
Adventurers
are
Guild
page.
What did he say?
You're in your larval face.
Oh, you're in. Mm-hmm.
But eventually, the Adventurers Guild stands out like a sore thumb, because the Adventurers Guild always uses the same design for their building on every world,
Like
so that they are identifiable.
It's so edgy.
It's got all these great edges and
It literally,
right angles.
it has lots of edges.
It's built like a Waffle House.
Like every Adventurers Guild looks like the like platonic ideal of an old tavern.
Mm-hmm.
There's like the very clear like wooden and metal paneled surfacing, like the front like rails, like front porch and chairs for people to sit out front and have a drinking conversation. The like large the wooden doors, like actually swinging wooden doors as opposed to like mechanically opening ones.
Does it have like a burned in logo, but also a neon sign above?
Basically, yeah.
It's like a violent space Cracker Barrel.
Essentially.
Hell yeah.
I was just thinking Cracker Barrel. Hell yeah.
Here we are.
Yep.
Interesting design choice.
It's the same design choice we always see.
It seems odd.
I suppose there's something to be said for branding.
It's camp.
Look, you always know you found the Adventurers Guild when you found the Adventurers Guild.
Adventurers Guild, you're a fan. Another ad.
You mean
Another-
the person in charge of the Adventurers Guild what stepped out for cigarettes 6 years ago and we haven't heard anything since?
I do say as we're walking towards the guild, another ad with Kindle on it pops down. Just like, it's like Kindle doing like a Pepsi ad.
The CAL is very particular about their branding.
Hell yeah. Till will be the first through the door and immediately just do a scan of the room to be like, all right, do we have anybody disreputable here that I need to watch out for?
The Adventurers Guild, yes.
Varush will be last to make sure that everybody goes inside.
And nobody wanders off
and
by
nobody's
themselves.
wandered off.
Proud of Varush.
These sort of lingers, but then we'll go in.
You find yourselves in again, and again, just like the outside, the interior is always the same. There are lines of like bar counters on both sides that travel all the way to the back, with like seating and tables spread throughout the center of the room. There are stairs to the sides of the bars that lead up to rooms for people to stay in for the night. And like above each bar, there are the boards because the bartenders serve drinks and also give jobs. So there are the adventuring boards, the scoreboards for those who are ranked, and the job boards for those who are looking for work. All like hovering above the bar for anyone who's looking.
Are we ranked yet?
Yeah. How many points for
You're not ranked high enough to be present on the board.
Till's going to camp out the stretch of table that looks like one might most safely be able to dance upon it after you've had enough drinks. Because I remember shit.
Gonna head up the
Get drinks, dance table.
Right. In bar, have drink, dance table.
head up.
Hi, we're the
Isn't that
Dust
how it works?
Oddly, I guess so. Yeah. Gonna head up to. We would turn in our like mission accomplished. Here's our shit, whatever. To the bartender as well.
Yeah.
Head up there.
The bartender is a troll, so there's fairly reptilian aspect to their face as they sort of look up. Ah, welcome back. Well, I should say welcome. I think this is your first time here.
In this particular one, we're the Dust Knights. We recently just come back from planet Stardust. We were sent to aid in dealing with ancient weapons. So, what was our actual mission parameters? It was dealing with that weapon, right?
Yeah, it's dealing with the cannon and allowing the planet to basically be freed.
Yeah. Dealing with an ancient weapon that was preventing the planet from being connected to the rest of the galactic common, and liberating them from oppression.
Yes, I got the alert that your team had arrived on planet, and your reward is waiting for you. I'll transfer it to your ship's account.
Is this somebody who was bartending here the last time before we left?
Probably,
I left. What's his name?
Vesh.
Vesh.
More relevantly, is this the one that was bartending at the last Adventurers Guild we went to as well?
No, it was not the same bartender.
So there's just from behind like everybody else. There is. I'm not going to try to do it, but there's a high pitched squeal. Oh my God, Vesh! And just walks around the walks around the bar. Like,
oh God,
not
you're the worst
even
person.
remotely.
Oh fuck!
At the squeal, Mistle falls off of Kindle.
Yeah, and Kendall walks around to the back of the bar and
try to catch.
Like walks up
and hugs.
Yeah, Vesh because Vesh is a troll. They're very tall and lanky. So with the one arm hug to the side.
Yeah, hug the hip, basically.
It's good to see you again, Kendall. I see you've been making a good name for yourself.
Sure.
Because Kendall is technically not a member of the Dust Knights.
Yes.
Nope.
These are all my friends.
Kendall's an attaché.
It's still on the floor as you point.
Shit! Sorry.
Bees tried to catch Mistle, but I rolled a 10. So
I was gonna say Till tried to catch Mistle, but he rolled a 14. I don't know if that's enough.
I mean, she has wings, but I feel like that took her by surprise.
Yes.
Fair.
And there's just like a little squeak out of Mistle, and she just hit the floor.
Till will offer her a hand up.
I'm okay. She'll fly up.
Sorry.
Okay.
So yeah, these are all my friends. They're the best.
Speaking of which, he says, looking over the group of you, the boss wanted to speak with you. Go to the back when you got a chance.
Okay. Bees starts heading to the back.
Yeah, I was say I started heading that way.
Oh,
Was
I
that-
guess we're going. I'll catch up with you later.
He nods.
Walk back.
I'll have your
Grab
drinks for you when you
something
come
a
back.
lot. Just grab it off. Okay.
Fair enough. I'll have another one ready for you when you come back.
Thank you.
Just going to sit on bees now.
There's like there has been, as you come over, you realize that there has been that little hammock that Bees knits up on the shoulder pieces, and it's just been sitting there empty. And as you come over, some of the little torch bees are out, and they're sort of like tightening up the webbing threads.
Thank you, guys.
Countdown from Kindle to table is 1.
Yep. Till just, if Kendall's going, Till just follow, yeah.
The group of you walk through the familiar back doors that lead into the exact same office that you have seen previously, with the exact same Karos sitting at the desk.
Did we go through a portal?
Most likely.
Welcome
Okay.
back, the half-orc proprietor of the Core Adventurers League, or Orcish, the Orcish proprietor of the Core Adventurers League says, as the group of you enter.
Bartender said that you wanted to speak.
Indeed, I wanted to congratulate you on your mission and present you with a problem that we've got.
Go on.
Well, as it turns out, the impossible has happened, thanks to that idiot who goes by the name of Deadlock. How much do all of you
Alright.
know about extraplanar beings and activities?
If
lot.
it's dead, if it's deadlock, am I rolling religion?
Yes.
13.
What
What
would
the
that
hell?
deadlock is religion?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I got a 2,
16.
16.
Nice.
but out
Nice.
loud, Bee says
23.
a lot.
So, basing on this, so the most of you should be aware, except some of you perhaps. Bees is the only one who is really not fully aware of this. That for the most part, gods reside in their own divine plane.
Right.
They very rarely leave them, if ever, and definitely do not do so on mass scale. However, when a new god is born in the calamitous event that such a thing occurs, they don't necessarily have a realm immediately. And most will ascend to take one. Deadlock is famous for being the god without a realm, the wandering god of war, the only god that you will typically run into in general environment, wandering the material plane.
And who is to road and is who is to ships as canyons are to ground based. Yes.
Yes, running into him tends to be very dangerous.
Okay.
Bees whisper to Mistle, "We thought gods lived in the sun."
Not all of them.
Why are they so bright then?
Glitter.
Okay.
So I take it this deadlock has
That will come back to bite us in the ass at
claimed.
some point.
Is he running amok, or did he decide to take over part
Oh,
of real space? Or
As much as Deadlock causes mayhem wherever he goes, he is, on the galactic scale, generally harmless.
I'm sure he would take offense to that, but sure.
Deadlock halfway across the galaxy sneezes and he's like, "What the fuck?"
Someone just called me harmless. 2 days later, fallen Thornwood would vanish.
I mean, in fairness, things can be capable of causing great harm, but then not do it, and they're still harmless.
Something like that.
All right. Anyway,
But it's more a matter that Deadlock has dropped a bit of a problem in our laps, and you are, with the situations that you are tending to be facing and likely going to be facing in the future, the most viable people to handle such a situation.
That's a terrifying thought.
And she sort of sighs. All right, the lot of you, please meet Strida. She says as she sort of waves in, and an individual walks into the room. The individual standing before you looks like someone stepping out of a fantasy novel. Feminine in figure, very tall, standing somewhere between 7 and 8 feet tall. Very broad on the shoulders and incredibly muscled, dressed in old-fashioned plate mail, like medieval style full plate, with a metallic round shield slung over their shoulder and a long sword on their waist. Their brown hair is kept pulled back into a close bun, and her eyes have this sort of halfway between blue and they're like these bright violet orbs that sort of look across the group of you as she enters. And she sort of looks across the group of you. Greetings, my name is Strida. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Is she glittery at all?
Not really.
Okay.
Hold on. All the dust. I'll let the others introduce themselves if they want.
Rouge, nice to meet you.
Till Wayland. Pleasure.
Hi.
Strida here, says Karos, is our impossibility. They are meant to be something only told of in myths and legends. But here we have, sitting before us, a demigod.
Congratulations.
What knowledge do I have in relation to demigods?
Demigods are, theoretically, according to legend, the children of gods, but gods live in the divine plane and don't have kids.
Right.
Where's your glitter?
Quietly, please, bees. You can ask questions much, 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 much later.
Mistel will whisper to Bees, "Not only full God's glitter,
Wait, what did Missile say?
only full God's glitter."
Oh, that's sad. I'm sorry. We're sorry you don't glitter.
Srita just raises an eyebrow.
People call us bees.
So I assume, based on the previous statements, that you are the daughter of Deadlock.
Deadlock is my father, yes.
Look over at our boss, and like with the look on my face that says "and."
Deadlock, after one of his many wanderings, decided to, shall we say, foist his parental duties upon the Adventurers League. And deposited Strida here with the request that we train her to reach her full potential.
Huh. So this is a bit of a basket on the doorstep sort of situation.
Something like that.
No offense. I apologize.
She is inexperienced as an adventurer, but has, as you might surmise, phenomenal innate talents and abilities.
Mm-hmm.
That was like Gideon with the brothel.
We're just going to skip past that right now.
Yes, my father was Deadlock. My mother is simply known as Victory.
All right. And
Four and three make freedom.
is your mother all right with this transfer of custody?
Frankly, she shares a significant amount of my father's disposition.
Ah, I see.
Anyone who wants to can roll history.
Hell yeah. I'm terrible at it, but I'd like to roll 6.
14.
Damn, bees.
13.
Can this be one of those weird things that we know, but we don't know why we know it?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Coltarn, Bees, and Kendall are all aware of the fact that Victory is the name that is the only name known to the only human or the only mortal to have ever bested Deadlock in physical combat. And is basically a legendary figure throughout the galaxy as the single most badass woman in the galaxy. And suddenly the name and Varouche is aware of this as well with the 10. It was minimum 10. With the name Strida is old tongue. It is the language of the precursors. It's precursor for battle.
We know about her. She defeated Deadlock.
She beat up your dad.
Your mom beat up your dad. And
It's just
you were
like with
born.
us. It's just like with us. The best fighter is the one that gets to mate.
Well, Varouche, we don't, I mean, Streeter could certainly, we could teach her what we know, I suppose.
Yes,
It is known throughout history that Deadlock is fond of competition and has been known to set incredibly difficult challenges to people who he comes across that he deems worthy. And those who can best him in competition are granted whatever it is their heart desires, should it be within the power of the god of war. Individuals have bested him in various competitions, but Victory is the only individual in galactic history to have beaten him in a duel.
She chose mating.
Not quite, Srita says. She wanted her legacy to last forever. And then pat Bees on the back.
Pat Bees on the back and cast silence.
Strida sort of, she wanted her legacy to last forever. And so she was given the name Victory to be known throughout the galaxy and an immortal child to carry on that legacy.
Huh.
So has your father set a task for you then?
All he said was go meet your full potential.
Do any of us use swords?
Baruch and
Baruch.
Mistletoe to a certain extent.
I thought Rouge used an axe.
I mean, he does, but he can.
Yeah.
He also has a pike.
Yeah.
He can use anything if it can hurt somebody. He can use.
No, I'm talking about like on the regular as opposed to can. I could also use.
Oh. Yeah.
It's technically like a large dagger, but it's a sword from Mistle.
Right.
Because she is decked out with a long sword.
Yeah. But to the point, the journeys that you are going on will be highly dangerous. And someone of Streeta's abilities may be worthwhile, and the adventures you may find yourselves on will serve as valuable experience for a budding demigod. As much as I never believed I would be saying that sentence aloud.
I mean,
Streeta, I don't foresee us likely to reject this proposition out of hand, given the scope of the issue. I do have to inquire how you feel about socially inept half elves and cambions as a rule.
Both of them sound close to home.
Kind of looks at Farouge like, well, that's at least one question answered.
And I can't remember. We're keeping the fact that we have this sword on the ship secret, right?
I mean, Karos knows it, but yes.
Yeah.
From most other people.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, if she's going to be on the ship, then, and if you had, how would you say that you would rate your willpower at resisting using an easy way out, or a weapon of such that might make you achieve your potential?
If you refer to the
faster?
corruptive natures of cursed items, I am immune to them as part of my divine soul.
We have a dangerous artifact. It's hardly a thing.
It's still a
Yes.
don't open the box.
She's also one of the few people who might be able to, in times of extremis, wield the thing without becoming a demon.
Well, that's interesting.
The last time that box was opened, a big fuck off dragon appeared. So I don't know that that's in our future, but it's certainly useful.
Break glass in case of emergency kind of situation.
Yeah.
We'll avoid that at all possible if we can. Sorry, just kind of processing through potentials.
Still
But
trying to
for the
figure
most
out
part,
the why aspect of
but
things.
for the most part, treat her as you would any other member of your crew, and she will learn as she goes. As far as I understand, she's been very sheltered for most of her upbringing.
Treat her, clarifying question. Treat her as we would treat any other member of the crew that is in this room right now, or any other member of the crew that is currently back on the ship still, because we tend to treat each other very differently than we treat the other people on.
We're working.
I'll leave that one up to you. But understand that she is incredibly durable, will likely pack quite a punch in combat, even if she's inexperienced, and will likely be valuable as she continues to gain and grow.
Also, just because I'm extremely uncomfortable with talking about a person as if they aren't here or are a commodity. Was it Striga or Strida?
Strida.
Strida, what do you feel about the idea? Tagging along.
Frankly, I don't feel much of anything at the moment. I am still new to most of this and will adapt as I learn.
So neither positive nor negative.
Not really.
All right.
Sort of a
Well,
non-binary
that's
option.
something we could work on as well. Hopefully pushing the needle towards the positive end of the spectrum. Sorry, you have us all at a bit of a loss. We anticipated a job of more of a, here's something dangerous, we need you to go put bullets in. So this was a bit outside our expectations, but we'll adjust and hopefully everybody will get along with it just fine.
Our image is in Slack for you.
Cool.
Can I like? I have to know. Is this just like regular ass steel gear, or is it something special?
I mean, it looks like regular fucking steel.
Out of curiosity, the equipment we carrying and building is this modern steel, or is this as archaic as it looks?
It is an extension of myself.
I think it's cute.
So divine fire. Okay.
I have crafted my form in much the same way that one would craft an outfit, to say.
I mean, yeah, that tracks.
All right. Well, welcome to the Dust Knights.
I don't require faith in the same way that gods typically do. I won't require any of you to pray to me at all. It should be fine.
Oh, I didn't even think that was going right to that tomb.
All right. Well, that's good to know.
I mean, we don't pray to the Cambion either. We like this. It's like balance.
All right. Was there any other specific tasks you wanted us to take on?
There might be, Kara says as she pulls up a data file. While you're on planet, there's something that's been concerning.
Do tell.
The we've lost contact with one of the more outlying cities on the planet completely. And the more concerning thing is that records of the town itself and the inhabitants have been erasing themselves.
Oh, that's odd.
Erasing themselves?
As in files that had previously had information, census data, known events, even the names of people in that town have begun to come up as corrupt.
So not
In
like
databases.
literally like erasing their body, but
I mean, we don't know. We have lost all contact.
fair. Yeah. I'm just saying there's some weird stuff that some people can do.
Sorry. This is the town you said.
Yes.
Is there a shipworthy landing space or landing zone near the town, or are we going to have to go on foot and wheel?
There's no space dock nearby, at least not as far as what records we have that remain of it. Still say you will probably need to recruit some vehicles to transfer there. I can provide a voucher for standard air car fare, but if you wanted something more complicated than simply a hovering car, you would need to probably reach out on your own.
Do we have the name of this urban center?
That data has also come up as corrupt. We do have a general location.
All right, but we can't even remember the name of, like, have we talked to anybody that used, like, is this something where memories of it are leaving as well?
Uncertain. The town wasn't particularly active or large on the grand scale of the planet, and so we haven't encountered anyone who claims to have been there or have prior knowledge of it, but that may also simply be a matter of selection bias.
Fascinating.
Well, if you've got coordinates, then we can begin preparation for an expedition.
Very well. I will send the coordinates to your data pads, and you may take the time that you need to rest and resupply here, and prepare to move out at your discretion.
Thank you very much, Guildmaster.
I would recommend taking some time to get to know each other, she says, indicating to Strita and the group of you.
Oh, yes. No, I think, what do you think, Coltarn? Back to the ship.
Oh,
Let's try to meet the rest of the crew.
We've got a few inquiries to make about the guild regarding Invaris, but after that, yes, we can head back to the ship, introduce Strita to everyone, and plan from there.
You're looking for environs. I may be able to point you in the right direction for a lead.
Ooh, excellent. Mhm.
You seen some recently?
Not personally, but the information that passes through the Adventurers Guild generally keeps up on things. Speak to Vesh outside, and he may be able to point you in the direction of people who will know things.
Thank you.
That sounds good, Mistle.
Go do that.
Right. Shrita, feel free to, come with us and we'll show you how we do things when we're on planet fall, I guess.
Of course, she says, and just sort of shoulders the shield and
Can Till get an insight on this demigoddess and see if he can kind of try and intuit? Obviously, she carries herself, I think, in a way that bespeaks a tremendous amount of combat capability, but in terms of like peopling effectively, how is she at that side of things?
roll me insight.
Okay.
And while Till is doing that, Coltar wanted to add, and don't worry,
God, I'm rolling like ass.
the frequent prolonged awkward silences are part of the problem.
Of course.
14.
The woman you are looking at has the subtlety of a flying club.
Okay.
Like, you are fairly certain that both in combat and out of it, she is about as straightforward and honest as it can be.
All right. Coltarn, if we've got a missing town that we're going to investigate, do you think... I think bringing Xander along so that you've got some backup on the science side of things might not be a bad idea. I don't know if Jasira will be willing to leave the relic behind, but
Actually, my thought was Tolbar has situated himself in the exosuit as a full-on artificial intelligence, no longer operating an external form. I was actually thinking of having Tolbar keep communication back to the ship and Xander on the ship, maintaining any records and watching to see if any of our records are corrupt as.
Oh,
yeah.
No, that seems tactical.
That way we sort of have eyes on the situation as it occurs and diagnose in media as well.
All right.
Rather than after that.
Miss Fairchild, you're going to be coming along on this one to see the vanished town?
All
right. Just wanted to check. I wasn't sure if anything had caught your attention elsewhere.
Nope.
Are we gonna look for environs first?
Yes.
Yes,
I believe we're going to speak with Vesh first and see what's there and then determine how we can best pursue that end of things.
Yeah, so let's go speak with Vesh. See where he can.
Are you nervous?
No, I'm fine, Bees. Thank you.
We didn't mean you, Till. We meant Mistle.
No, not right now. I'm just anxious.
Okay. Can I check and look at Till and see if Till is nervous? That's made
Roll
me
insight.
suspicious.
Cannot wait to see how this pans out.
20. Yeah.
Dirty 20, yeah.
No, Till has the air of an individual who has a constant level of not paranoia but apprehension, and is now more geospatially proximate to the source of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I also use that on Mistle, or should I reroll?
I mean, if you want, I feel like it's quite obvious how Mistle is feeling at this point.
Okay, fair. All right. The bees are just sort of, settled around Mistle, and they're sort of fanning her and also making sort of a steady, soothing hum.
I feel like she's got like one or like a few of them in her lap, and she's like petting them.
Yeah, for sure. They're like they're doing the bee equivalent of purring, where it's just sort of like a.
So you head back out into the Adventurers Guild proper.
Yep.
And head back to Vesh. That is VESSHH, by the way. It's good to see you again.
Yes.
I have that drink for you, he says as he hands you whatever your preferred cocktail would have been whenever you were in here.
I'm terrible with particular ones, but whatever it is both very sweet and very strong.
Mm-hmm.
We've got questions for you. Mistle, do you wanna?
Seen people that look like me in farms, or do you know people that would know of people like me?
Actually, I think I might have just the information you're looking for, he says as he sort of starts to root through some of the data pads that he has sort of sitting around the countertop around him. About 4 months ago, there was a small group of Invarans who were looking to get away from everything and find a quiet place to settle down and sort of be by themselves, sort of away from all the troubles around the world. And they were asking around. Adventurers Guild's generally a friendly place for people like that, so they came in here to ask. And I sent them out with one of our groups who was going out on a routine scouting mission. Let's see, they were headed out to, and he sort of pulls up a data pad. That's fucking weird. The destination's completely gone.
And then they all died.
Yeah, no. Till as soon as he started to pull out the data pad and got the weird look on his face, Till just face palms.
Oh, I knew it before that. Yeah.
Yeah, right. I think we may have a lead on that, but it's good to know that some of these objectives are converging.
Do you have any more information about them? Do you know like what they look like or names? Or exactly how many?
Sorry, my there were 5, 6 total. A couple of different families, I think, and I don't have real good face memory for people that small. I'm sorry.
You didn't hear names or anything?
Didn't ask. They didn't want to share them. I guess they were afraid of people hunting them down.
Okay, thank you.
Bees buzzes over towards Varush and says, What do they mean?
Varush is gone.
Ashley stepped out.
I will ask Coltarn.
Sorry, I missed whatever the what does she mean part.
What do they mean? What are they talking about? Bees doesn't understand what why Mistle and Till immediately made a connection when the death was blank.
Well, there's a village that we've been tasked with investigating of all information about, which has been coming up corrupt, and we're looking at data slates about the location of some environs on the planet. The data came up corrupted.
That's a weird coincidence.
It's not a coincidence.
Oh, okay.
But with that, that's where we'll go ahead and take a break.
We'll be back in a few minutes. Those of you that are watching live, please stay tuned to the first messages. Remember, when we take our break, you take yours. So stand up, special legs, move around, do whatever you need to do, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. We're back. A dinosaur story.
Welcome back. So, we pick up where we left off with you having been given the news that at least an amount of environs have been spotted in the vicinity, but that they have been headed to city name not found.
Location redacted.
They're a
Would
heading.
it be to what's his name? Would it be possible?
Oh, right. I think Ashlyn missed that entire setup. I think because of when Ashlyn left.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the guildmaster said, "Please take care of this demigoddess."
Yep, I
and
got that.
then and then was like, "Also, there's a city that we've lost contact with, or maybe a town, or maybe a village. And also all entries of it have been showing up in digital files as corrupted or lost. So we assume that there used to be a city there, but for some reason it's vanishing effectively."
Can you type?
Uh,
Can you type the troll's name in chat, please?
Dash.
Dash.
And then we said, "Cool, we'll check into it. Have you heard if the Environs are around anywhere?" And they said, "Go talk to Vesh about that." And Vesh is like, "Oh yeah, some Environs came through. They were headed to, well, that's weird. The record of the place they were headed is showing up as corrupted data in my data slate."
Vish. Could I get a copy of that data? The corrupt.
Sure, I can hand that off. And he sort of flicks a thing, and your data pad gets a data burst.
I reach over, pull a cable out of my data pad, and then plug it behind my ear, or my right ear, and the right eye begins flashing. And I'm going to, with Tollbar, I'm going to look over that data real quick and see if I can. I would like to see if I can decompile the data enough to sort of disentangle the whatever user interface they're using to represent that data, disentangle that into its most basic, just this is raw data section, and see what is actually happening to that data. If the information itself is still intact, but the access has been corrupted through the UI, or if the data itself has been encrypted somehow. Like, because the data was there, it wasn't deleted, it's just showing up as corrupted, then there should be something I can find in the corrupted data that would tell me what is actually happening.
Roll me technology.
What was my AI campaign do for me? Hang on. Okay. So I can treat the result as a 10 or my gadgeteer level plus intelligence modifier, whichever is higher. It doesn't say that I have to do that before I make a roll.
So your minimum roll on this is either 10 or whatever your gadgeteer level plus your intelligence is.
Which would be 8. So my minimum result is 10.
You only have a +2 intelligence?
No, I got a +5.
Oh, right, no, you're right. Your gadgeteer,
my
you're only
gadgeteer
like
level's 3.
That's right. You only have 3 levels of gadgeteer. That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I have 5 little bars for gadgeteer.
Yeah.
So min 10. Any advantage for working with Tollbar?
I'd say Tollbar is the reason you can't roll less than a 10. So
Fair.
It was
18.
blank for a second.
Right.
Yeah, so 18.
Yeah. So with an 18, it's actually the reverse of what you were suspecting.
Okay.
As you sort of break this data down to its constituent bits, the presentation of this UI is calling upon information, and the data it is calling upon is gone.
Okay.
Like there is a call request for information for the name of the town, and the name of the town, that data is gone. So it's pulling on empty data.
So it's the
Kind of-
data. So
Kind of a 404 issue.
So
Yeah.
whatever database it's pulling from is being the data is being removed.
Yeah.
Do we have a name for the system that the planet's in?
I mean,
this
it's here.
planet.
It's here.
Oh,
on
it's here
on
Starwood.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so-
another city.
So after a few seconds of his one eye flashing, he'll look back up. Vesh, what database does your information come it local, or is it something?
I
that we
mean,
deal
this
from?
this pulls from planetary census and just general information network. It's distributed across the planet.
Is there a principal storage space for, say, city census?
I mean, that would probably be closer to a Capitol building in the middle of the city.
Do you have a holographic map of that's scalable from ground to orbit?
We have a planetary map, yes. It can get you most everything on the planet.
Let's look for the blank spot.
Or yes, if you look at the coordinates for this, give him the coordinates that we got from the Guildmaster.
And he'll hit a button, and there's a spherical presentation of the planet sort of pulls up on a projector next to him, and he sort of waves a hand through it, and it sort of spins around for a minute, and he finds the right coordinates and blows it up until it pulls down to ground level, and there's just an empty spot on the planet.
Could I make an? Is there any roll I can make to see if? Because actually, no, I don't need a roll. This is going to be an assumption Coltar's making. If I had to make a guess, I would say that some intelligence, either artificial or otherwise, is burrowing into the planetary database and actively removing data. From what I can tell from the corrupt that I'm seeing there, the software that you're using is calling data from a database, and that data that it's pulling is not there. But not found.
Oh, there's
Something is-
tricky magic afoot.
Something is eating it or removing it or wiping it up.
Why would it do that?
Well, if you are, for instance, running heinous and illegal experiments on the population of a town and you didn't want anybody to know how to get there or what you were doing, you might set a bug to erase all data regarding that town from planetary databases.
Alternatively, if you belong to a demographic that has been consistently mistreated by galactic culture at large, and you are looking for a safe place to rebuild your society, you might be zealous enough to try and remove access to that place from public scrutiny.
That is another valid potential option.
Oh,
So yes, this could be heinous and nefarious, or it could be protective in nature. And I think getting eyes on the location is going to be the easiest way to
Agreed.
determine.
Unless we could get access to that database, the core database all this being pulled from.
Find some clues there and see if it does seem to be more technological or magical in nature.
But that's probably not an easy thing to do, even for.
Probably, yeah.
Do I have any idea how tightly tied into local government Fairchild Industries and Elias Fairchild
The Pepsi
specifically?
poll is only so strong.
Right, yeah.
I feel like probably very not in any official capacity.
Okay.
Look,
I was about to say they don't have any like official political pull, but they have people and money.
The
They are-
Yakuza
they-
has no official political affiliation with the government of Japan.
Exactly.
The Mafia has no official political
Yes.
information with the
It
government
is
of
exactly
Chicago.
as it is exactly as connected to government as the Corleones are.
Okay.
Kendall's dad has bought, some of the
Look,
Thornwood judge's mom's a house, and
I'm not saying that
Look.
there have been some unicorn and nightmare heads ending up in beds, but
look, Kendall's dad has a super yacht, and he just happens to invite all of his rich and powerful friends out onto it regularly to talk shop.
I will say this about Kendall's dad. As far as Till knows, he doesn't collect Nazi memorabilia, though.
this is as near as Kendall knows. I don't know.
That's
That's a shoddy NPC, so he could like there could be.
Sorry, your dad's gonna have to die.
That's fair.
Actually, I'm not sorry about it.
Me neither.
It's what's best for everybody involved.
Yes.
Now, your father is a completely legitimate businessman.
Yes.
Which is a sentence that is always accurate. Never.
and
Never
and
once.
is said repeatedly about very normal people all the time.
Never once has been said inaccurately.
So, is it close enough that we could use our vehicle, or is it
The guildmaster said they could call us an air car and get us overland transport, but there's no ship docking facilities within close proximity to the location. So we would
have a dust
Yeah, we
striker?
have a truck.
Yeah, you do have a hover truck.
Yeah, well,
Mhm.
right. We do have a hover truck. Yeah.
Also, Baruch can just get one whenever.
Baruch can
digistruct a transport.
Baruch does have the capacity
You've
to
all
call
seen
it a favor.
Tron. Just kidding.
Which
Except it's a truck.
I do want to play a paladin that's like their fine steed is like calling in a supply drop. It's like a helicopter,
Right.
like a divine helicopter comes by and just drops off a vehicle and then continues on.
This is my celestial Jeep.
This is my fiend.
Yeah, probably more accurate.
Celestial Jeep runs on all battery. The fiendish Jeep not only does it take fossil fuels, it takes twice as much fossil fuels as any other vehicle.
An Omvi.
And it always runs out of gas 5 miles before the next refueling station.
Yep. Do we want to divert to central civil computers centers then, or do we want to head out here before potentially the data and memory loss of this place gets worse?
I would say if
Let me tell you, this has been relatively recent, but it's from what I can tell going back, I'm going through data relating to this. It looks like this job has been around for a couple of months. I don't think it's going to get that much worse, that much faster. So if there's preparations you need to make, I would go ahead and take the time.
I would say yes. Let's get back to the ship, make our preparation. If Kendall, if you can get us into a centralized database to take a look at what's going on, that would be useful. But if not, we can head straight out.
I mean, try.
We'll try.
Sure.
All right.
At the very least, if we were able to get there, even if I couldn't find anything, I could set something up. Something active.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move then.
While we're on our way, do you want to check to see if any of the neighboring locations have had any recent disturbances?
Neighboring.
Places in proximity to our target?
Yes.
Yeah, if we can hit up a news kiosk or something. Any public-facing reports?
Or if Vesh has anything before we leave.
I haven't heard much about the remaining towns around there. It was sort of out of the way as far as everything that we know about the town previously. It was a place for people to go to be away from the rest of the world.
Yakima.
Or Nocturnal.
That was for Ashlyn.
I got it too.
Yeah, thank you, Jerry. Glad you know too.
That was great.
Down here, it's called Helm.
Yep.
That's where our dad is.
Yeah. Helm, where people go when they don't want to deal with anybody else in Georgia anymore, and also where people go to die racing motorcycles up a mountain.
Can Till stop somewhere and grab some more ammo on the way?
Oh, 100%.
Excellent. He's going to stop off in just a whatever armory or munitions shop he can find.
You can find it at market price.
Okay.
I don't remember. I know that my machine gun has a whole bunch of that Varush like decked this thing out last time we got money.
Yeah.
I don't. It doesn't have any of the attachments, but if I saw the PDF, I'd be able to find.
if-
Grease Monkey's Handbook is in the handouts.
Hang on, I
Section.
think I can tell you
see it
because
in
I
there.
write all my construction plans down.
And as is the
But,
the actual the Stardust
because I know
PDF is
that
also pinned.
Farouche has let let Till use it before too.
It's the Volshar pattern. No, that's the sniper rifle I got for which I made for Gideon. Let's see. I made a heavy revolver. I made a sniper rifle.
It
Or
doesn't look
maybe
like it saved any of the information.
maybe I didn't actually.
No, he had it done before.
Yeah. No, I might. Did I do it?
I don't think so. He
Okay.
has enough of a technology that he did. I think he did it himself.
Okay. That might be why then.
But yeah. All right.
Unless I just gave you the info. Anyway. I don't have to make anything right now anyway.
You do have another 2,000 gold pieces.
Well, in that
in the
case,
party fund from your job on Savarinus.
well, in that
Hey.
Each or total?
Total 2,000 gold was
Oh.
added to the party fund.
Each. No, I'm just kidding.
I like each.
Are we entirely out of character on a meta level? Is Gideon still with us? Basically,
Yes.
kind of faded.
From a meta perspective, Gideon is sort of acting in NPC coma.
Okay, all right. Then Bees is still letting Gideon carry all of Bees' money.
There you go.
285, 285 gold, and 7 silver, 1 copper each
Breathe.
with Gideon's double up.
Cool.
No, that'd be Gideon's total because that's splitting it 7 ways as opposed to 8.
There are only 7 of us.
Oh right, yes, duh. I was counting myself.
You're the GM.
That's the tax. No.
Right?
Let's see. Yeah, then let's be on our way.
Which would say tax. That's what poor people pay.
Yeah, head back to the ship. Introduce Strida to the others.
You enter the ship. As you arrive in the cargo bay where Xander and Jasira tend to hang out, you hear the sound of a welding torch being used.
Till immediately goes beeline to that. Who the fuck is using a welding torch on my ship?
And as you approach,
He fucking
you
with my
see
dust runner.
you see a small amount of sparks, and then it cuts off as Xander lifts the welding mask off of his face and holds something up and hands it over to Jasira, who takes it, spins the pistol that she's just been handed around a couple times. Yeah, good work. And holsters it as she turns to look over at the group of you.
If he's modifying weapons, that's fine.
As Jasira looks up as the group of you approach. Welcome back. I trust you've been busy getting your rewards and accolades. I see you have a tall new friend.
This is Strida, everyone. Xander, Jasira.
Srida is a demigod we've been tasked with.
We're collecting you all. Wait, demigod? I thought those were a myth.
They're not.
Apparently, no.
People think everything's a myth until they see it.
I like just shattering people's worldviews, just like with simple sentences.
Okay, she says, sort of looking it straight up and down. Wow, you reek of divine power. Yep, yeah, that tracks.
Oh, it's in the fucking weapon. Cool. Not in the description, in the actual attack.
Oh, did you put it in the weapon description?
Yeah. I'm putting it in the item
Oh,
now
yeah.
down in my inventory.
I put my modification note in the treasure section of my bio. So that I always have the breakdown.
Yep. Calibrated receiver, short barrel, quick reflex sight, load quick load mag, and a compensator.
So, what was the name of our the other person, the half elf?
Xander
Xander.
Leiden.
Then, very quickly, I need to set up a relay between Tolbar and you here on the ship. We're going to be heading out to a village on planet that has been having its data wiped from local databases. In order to see what exactly is going on, I'm going to be sending any of our recorded data back to the ship so that you can monitor it, see if whatever's happening is happening logically or magically, assuming we're not able to get that answer in a more direct fashion.
Oh, okay. He says, like casting sort of a sidelong glance at a rifle that was being worked on the table as well. Yeah, I guess I can read here.
We're not leaving immediately, so it is something that I'm going to need. I'm not going to be able to analyze the data.
Yeah, understandable. And Jasira sort of looks up. So who are you bringing along with you? I'm assuming the demigod. Anyone else?
Do you think you can leave? I say, gesturing towards the Hellblade.
Oh, I learned a trick, she says, as she sort of reaches out to it, puts her hands together, and the case the blade is in sort of folds and disappears into the wall. It's in a
Phil
pocket
nods.
dimension. It's in a pocket dimension of my own crafting.
Excellent. Well, if that'll allow you to maintain monitoring, I think it would be excellent to have you along.
The right eye stops flashing as Coltarn was scanning to see if she built a secret compartment in the wall or not.
What happens if you die?
It emerges from where it was last. So it'd be
Okay.
right back in the hangar again.
Okay.
Well, yes, we
Although, to be fair, that's if I die. And that takes a lot.
we'll still feel better leaving more than one person on the trip. Out of character, I guess. Leave Gideon here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Speaking.
So, how do you feel about leaving Gideon and Xander here, and then taking Frida and
Works for me.
Cambion, whose name I
Seems
keep forgetting?
logical.
Jasira.
Jasira.
Gideon can stay and watch after our hive, and some of us will come with you.
All right.
We might need your assistance navigating these, so that will be helpful.
The bees just like the luminosity of them picks up and the buzzing gets more excited.
Well,
Now that you have officially claimed control of your NPCs, I will go ahead and put all of their character sheets in your journals.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Let us. Well, then let's make all preparations then.
Done.
Spin cock, right? Or something.
Yeah, it was just pulling back through.
Oh yeah, just rack the slide once. All right, we're good.
Coltarn's right arm, like there's just like a series of exhaust ports and just like inputs and compartments just sort of like adjust, slide, readjust themselves, all while his arm is just sort of like holding down off to one side, not doing anything. Similar, but for anyone that has more thorough preparation.
Miss Fairchild, is there anything you're going to need to access before we depart the city?
I don't think so. Like what?
Is she carrying like any changes of clothes, anything at all, or is okay? Traveling garments, extra rations. We might not have access to restaurants or hotels along the way. I don't know how out of the way this expedition is going to take us.
Wow. Huh. Yeah, I guess I can get get a snack pack.
I have honey. We have honey.
Never mind, we've got it covered.
Kendall, you might need food for a few days. We don't know how long we're going to be gone. And you'll want changes of clothes and probably makeup and stuff.
As a reminder, bees does have good honey.
Right.
So if you're satisfied just eating a bit of honey for food for the day.
Yeah. No, I know that bees can keep most, if not all of us alive. It's just I don't know if this Fairchild is wanting to have a repetitive diet for like 3 weeks.
Fine. We should, if we have a Chani, do you have a character sheet for the hover truck?
I do not at the moment. I need to make one.
As we've established,
it's not armed. It's just a vehicle. So,
as we established, she modeled for a whole week. She understands eating a grape a day.
That's true.
But no, yeah, okay, fair enough. If we're gonna go, just give me a second. She goes inside and comes out with like 2 suitcases.
Okay.
That was very quick.
Till nods and immediately picks them both up.
Wait, was that modifying weapon?
It is.
A lot of the weapon modifications are in the Grease Monkey's handbook. Yeah,
page 33.
All right. Well, let's get this loaded up.
Why does it keep doing that?
So we'll put the suitcases in the Dust Runner.
Oh, the vehicle you've got isn't the Dust Runner. The Dust Runner is not complete.
Oh, okay. The hover truck.
I still need another 1,500 gold worth of repairs for the Dust Runner to be operational.
Gotcha.
Because the Dust Runner is a tank.
Right.
That I'm going to turn into a mech.
Mech tank.
Fully operational battlefield. I still have. They're still. Let me look here. Hang on.
And once, as per the quest card that I have handed to Coltarn, once he completes the Dust Runner, he will gain proficiency in land vehicles.
Heyo.
I still need 1,650 gold to repair the Dust Runner right now. To upgrade it to Coltarn's current plan, I'll need another between 5 and 8,000 gold.
Right. So it's a long-term project.
Yeah.
Right. Till we'll just usher everybody in to get loaded into the hover truck then. And I think, isn't Kendall the one who's proficient in land vehicles? I feel like she's been our wheelman several times up till this
Yeah,
point.
no, I think that's true because Baruch isn't.
Right, and Coltarn isn't yet.
Yeah, I think Kendall is the only person in the
You are
party that is
correct.
proficient with land vehicles.
Right.
We can drive.
No, you can't.
Nope.
We've been over this, Bees.
We can. We learned.
You need
No,
a little
not-
more. You
Not
need more
yet, you haven't.
practice.
And this is not the practice time. Remember, that has to be done under controlled circumstances in a safe environment. We are going to be going cross country out in the open where you could accidentally run into any number of people or things. So we're not going to do this yet.
We practiced lots on the trip here.
I will
You-
grab.
there-
I
You were on a ship. There was no place to drive.
will
There's a
grab.
flashback cut to Bees just sort of sitting in the vehicle in the bay, just going.
Yeah, it's like in the background, Coldard's doing engineering work, and in the foreground, Bees is just fiddling with the car.
Constantly honking.
I will
Why
grab.
do you think Till's been on the bridge this entire voyage?
I will grab a few parts. Just so that can I make modifications on the road, Tony?
I mean, theoretically.
Yeah, because I do
According to
want to
class
modify
features.
my. I do want to. Right now, my coal brack is completely unmodified, other than the fact that I've got it with my repeating infusion, so it never runs out of ammo. But it could use some more modifications.
Made a lot of special modifications.
I need to turn it into a Einfault coal brack.
But yeah, Till will jump in the passenger seat so that he's in proximity to Kendall if anything goes wrong.
Jasira folds her wings up and they sort of fade into her shoulders as she walks up into the back.
Yeah, because how many can this carry?
I can carry all of you.
Okay.
It's a truck.
Yep.
Awesome.
Are Loxodons still technically medium, or are they large?
No, I'm large.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm a big, heavy boy.
Roosh is a solid fella.
8 foot, 400 pounds.
Damn.
One day I'll gain the extra 10 inches.
Till will key in the coordinates for whatever navigation systems this truck has, if any.
It'll be via mech suit, but still.
The navigation on this truck connects into the planetary network, basically. Which means that punching in the coordinates is basically driving off the map because of how there's a hole in the map where the coordinates should be.
Yep.
Awesome.
Here, let me. I'll hook. That same way with Daypad. I'll hook myself into. I'll hook my implant into the vehicle and let Tolbar assist with calculating, like, destination, since the onboard computer can't.
The computer just keeps going. At the next interstellar void, make a U-turn.
Appa.
So the familiar voice of Tolbar, assuming I can do this, we'll just go. When you're ready, start the car.
I know.
Just making sure.
Yeah, because I think Bruce has to sit in the little gunner circle. And
Right.
Like Dan's.
Turret Loxodon, baby.
Yep.
All right, hold on tight.
Don't mind us, citizenry.
Off we go.
Yeah, the vehicle heads off the ramp from the ship and takes the vehicle elevator that exists to bring vehicle-sized objects down from the docks that deposits you out onto the streets of Highbark. How is Kendall driving?
So Kendall's driving style, I feel like, is the kind of driving style that is just a little terrifying to ride with, because the turns are sharp. Like, it's always just on the edge of going too far past the speed limit.
Is it the turn?
But it's
I think the turns is like when it's starting to get too much. Baruch is just tapping on the rope. Like, that's how you know that you're cutting the corner a little too close.
right.
Starting to
But
shift
it's
the weight.
never it like, despite the fact that it's a terrifying drive, I feel like she's an impeccable driver in terms of like crashing or putting anybody at risk, anything like that. It just feels scary. It feels like an amusement ride.
I want to be very clear. Bees is paying rapt attention and is clearly learning.
Amazing.
Till is got this weird sort of half white knuckle thing, because while like the G forces and the pull and shift is well within his tolerance range as a professional pilot, the proximity that you're coming to solid objects is not at all the distance one would want to be in a spaceship making these sort of turns. So everything is way closer than it should be. And he's having to contextualize the fact that we are traveling at much lower speeds than he's used to. So this is technically fine.
It's kind of fine.
Also, the very cheery sort of she turns into a fucking road rage animal.
Just swearing constantly.
Like she is a New York City driver.
Wonderful. Move it or lose it, asshole.
Yes, very much so.
Like for the backseat,
but still in the like lilty, like high-pitched voice.
Bees is just like full on Mr. Bean, like cheerfully flipping people off.
Yes.
I feel like I'm definitely like my exosuit is like locked into the side of the vehicle in the back. So I'm just bouncing along with the vehicle as I'm working, just like
you just kind of magnetized in, yeah.
just humming to myself.
Because I feel like whoever it was that taught her to drive, again, it was one of her dad's employees.
So the getaway driver, yeah.
And it would be like, it would be like very much like the getaway driver. That is exactly who I was thinking of.
This feels like a little bit of liberty with the setting, but this feels like Kendall was taught how to drive by a dwarf.
Probably.
Which I'm going to say is
not necessarily wrong.
Which is Dwarven Jason Statham.
Which is exactly. Which is
the Transporter movie.
Which is what I'm going to say. Which is why Coulthard is completely unbothered by it, because it's just like it's like home.
Yeah.
See, the vehicle is your battering ram to get everyone else the fuck out of the way because you've got better places to be.
If they didn't want to get run over, they wouldn't be in the road. It's as simple as that.
Amazing. This is the best.
I like to think, like, on dwarf planets, there are either no traffic laws or everyone has been in jail because of traffic violations. At one point or time.
No, the thing is, on Dwarven planets, everyone's driving the same way. So it's just a demolition derby of just like everyone very narrowly avoiding each other on very sharp turns.
That's why so many dwarves are going to engineering fields, because it's a cultural thing.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, it's
you
very
call
much
it you call it engineering. We call it everyday vehicle maintenance.
Yeah. Because they like every dwarven planet's like vehicular system you don't want to drive on if you're not a dwarf, because everyone else out there is driving like Kendall.
Driving like a dwarf.
Yeah.
Proud of our girl. How far outside of the city? Like, is this going to be a journey of hours or days, or
It's
what are
probably
we
going to be a couple of days to get to where you're at.
Okay.
The place you're going to is intentionally out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
But a couple of days will pass relatively unobstructed if there's anything that anyone needs to do along the way, any conversations that need to happen.
Are there places that we stay, or are we just kind of pulling over and staying wherever?
I mean, there are theoretically rest stops along the way if Kendall bothers to stop at one.
Oh yeah, like if they say to stop, if it's time to stop, we will stop.
I mean, I presume Kendall, even at her best, is not able to operate a vehicle like 72 hours straight without a pause.
No,
Driving all
Right.
night. What on with you?
Constitution is not her dump stat, but it's not one of her absolute best either.
Yeah, like the equivalent of a truck stop is basically in a world that has been as like lushly grown with nature as this one, the equivalent of a truck stop is like a particularly large tree that stands out among all of the other ones that is sort of marked with like massive branches that have formed like large overarching, basically large flat planes for like tiered parking across different levels of the tree. And there is like a building's worth of like habitation sections cut out of the tree for people to stay in overnight.
This is where we become subject to the Thornwood chainsaw massacre. Because it's the truck stop outside the city. There's probably a creepy guy in charge of it. Warns us not to go to that place in the woods.
Don't go up that.
You
The
know,
whole
the-
city is the woods.
You know, the
Or the
railroad's
planet.
gonna come through here any day now. That's gonna be real big for you folks. You jackass.
Yeah.
No one comes back up. That
Oh,
no one comes back.
God
when
damn
you
it! Now I
go
need to
down that
watch
road.
that again.
I fucking love Cabin in the Woods.
So good.
Such a good movie.
I love that movie.
Also, fuck Joss Whedon.
Yes. Brent Crowns, on the other hand, I think he's an okay dude and very funny.
Yes. No, everybody that I am aware of involved in that movie, including Drew Goddard, who is actually who directed it, by the way,
Yeah.
is fun. Just fuck Joss Whedon.
Yep.
Anyways.
Mistel, if we find these other environs, you're looking for your parents, as I understand it, right?
My family, my parents and my siblings.
I don't know a lot about Invaran culture. Is it a particularly closely bonded sort of culture and society, or?
Yeah, how many dozen siblings do you have?
I only have 3 siblings, please.
Oh,
And no, not 3 dozen. Yes, we're, from what I can remember, we were close. I haven't seen them since I was a little kid.
All right.
how long ago was that? How fast do Invaran age?
It's been about 12 years.
Some of the bees just kind of settle in around around her, and again, sort of that like purring buzz.
Mistel's like hugging onto one of them really, really hard.
A question for you, Craig / Shawnee. Do torch bees do the thing where they can also buzz offensively, like they can form a ball around something and buzz hard enough that it kills it, like it cooks it to death?
Yeah, I mean that's part of why they're called torch bees, although normally they just sting it to death. But
Right.
yeah,
Okay. All right.
they also do generate some heat, I think we've established.
Okay.
And
Good to know. Good to know.
This is definitely not that.
Right. Obviously. Yeah.
I'll be right back. Anyone questions?
Yeah. Till is just
Okay.
trying to get a particular, like trying to establish an analysis of what to expect and trying to form in his mind at least a ratio of likelihood of success on this for Mistel. All right. Well, hopefully they'll have some actionable information for you then.
What's the last memory you have of them?
I got into a fight with my sisters and that went off. It was stupid.
What happened?
It was just a stupid argument. I wanted to go with them. They didn't want me tagging along, just that sort of thing. And then I ran away from them. Not far. I'd done it before. But then I got captured by poachers.
And you never saw them again?
No.
Did you kill the poachers?
I was 8. So no, bees.
Do you want to find them and kill them?
Not really.
We'll help if you do.
They're not the ones. It doesn't matter now.
They're not the ones who what?
They're not the ones that hurt me.
Who hurt you?
A girl.
What does she look like?
She's the one that they sold me to. Well, they sold me to her father, and he gave me to her as a pet.
Did you kill them?
No, I was a child. No,
Do you want to?
I just want to find my family right now.
Okay. Will you tell me if you see them? The people who hurt you?
Yes, I will.
Okay. And the bees just kind of settle in, and there's a tighter cluster and the sort of like a more soothing rhythm to the hum.
Ah, yes, the awkward silences of the Dust Knights.
I've noticed they're very common, Streetus.
I
says
like the idea
from
that
the side.
Coltarn had to go to the bathroom and just came back at that particular moment.
I've noticed they're quite common, Streetus says from the side.
They are. We are a bunch of action-oriented individuals for whom social graces were never impressive.
Hey,
He just smiled.
Miss Fairchild is, of course,
the exception. Thank you very much.
Yes.
As she so often is, and also is not a member of the Dust, so was not qualified in
You
that.
know what? I will give you that one. That's fair.
Tap 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 tap.
Amazing.
Did I miss anything of significance while I was finding the rest? We'll just say.
No, just recounting of trauma.
Sit down. Just start doing some adjustments to his arm.
You all get a night's rest. And presumably head back out again on the road in the morning unless there's anything that needs to happen overnight.
I will. I'll burn all my spell slots on good berries.
Hey, mostly, like the only other thing that happens, at least unless anybody else initiates the conversation, is just at some point later on, Poltarn will go outside. There will be the sound of a Colbrack firing, and then he'll come back inside and start making some more adjustments.
Was that testing or working off frustrations?
Testing, making a
Excellent.
Baruch,
Mm-hmm.
you've sort of been caught up in the moment, but you've been intending to reach out to the rest of your order back on the
Yeah, about the environs.
about the Environs, and you're about approaching the edge of where you'll be able to get good enough reception and signal to reach off planet. So probably now is about the time you want to do that.
Yeah, I hope while we're in the while we're camped, he'll pull up his data plate and get to the enter the database that he has for this sector and see if there's been any reported Environ sightings or suspected smugglers or known smugglers. Yeah. Within the last, I think Mistel has mentioned it's been a year, so
Yeah.
Within the last year, but he's gonna order it so that the most recent are at the top.
So as you look through the data that you've compiled here, you find that there is a relocation notice of and an acknowledgement of emancipation for a group of previously captured Invarans who had been being smuggled by a group of suspicious traders that had been trying to pass through this void gate. Upon the group being freed, according to records, they'd been asked where they wanted to go, and they had simply said wherever the nearest planet is, so we can find a place to disappear for a while. This was, roughly speaking, about 6 months ago.
Okay.
At which point the Void Keepers don't keep too much care for individual planets' affairs, so they wouldn't know where what happened once they left the Void Gate and went down to Fallen Thornwood, but they do know that they were sent on the nearest shuttle down to Fallen Thornwood.
Okay.
The names of the individuals were taken down, and there are several of them, but the ones that sort of stand out as having interacted the most, there was a pair of parents with their children, one Wenril and Runic, with their 3 children with them, and then another family of similar note. A short while after that, there's a priority signal.
Okay.
That comes directly to you.
He will quick forward that information to either Kendall's data slate, or does Mistel have one?
I don't think she has a data slate.
Okay. Kendall or Tills, just with a note that says I don't know these names, but if they look familiar to Mistel, these were the most recent sightings and circumstances. And then he's gonna answer the priority call.
immediately upon answering, there is a gruff but feminine voice that answers on the other line. Voidkeeper Varush Al Rule.
Yes.
This is Void Captain Tiris Darien. I am reaching out to you on a matter of extreme import.
He'll check to make sure to see if anybody's around, and then whenever you're ready.
The order is being called together for a grand meeting. Everyone. Things are escalating in contamination and containment, particularly from Zarheim. The barriers seem to be weakening. Sarhemian incursions are becoming more common. It's time to gather everyone and organize a formulated response.
All right. I'm sure you can tell my current location. Is there transportation waiting once I arrive?
This is severe. Dimensional portals have been authorized to retrieve any and all active agents who are not already in location. Say your goodbyes to whoever you need to work with, and let us know when you're ready.
Stand by. He'll head back to the camp. Friends. Things are escalating elsewhere, and the Void Keepers have recalled me and every other warden for a formal conference and organizational plan of action. I won't be able to accompany you on this. I wish you the best of luck. Stay safe, trust each other.
You too.
Will you come back?
I will do my best.
Let us know if you need any assistance.
I will. But there's not much time for delay, so give Gideon my best as well, and everybody else on the ship. Hopefully I'll see you soon enough.
Baruch,
Yes, Bees.
we're glad we didn't kill you the first time we saw you.
I'm glad of that as well.
You're pretty nice for a cop.
I'm not a cop.
Yeah. You keep saying that. Okay, have fun at the cop convention.
Have fun with the rest of the group.
Okay. Be careful.
You all as well. You as well, Bees.
Varush, Jacina
Yeah.
says, as she sort of catches your attention. I know this doesn't necessarily mean much coming from a demon. But you are a stellar example of your agents and the job that you pursue. And I figure it might be worthwhile to show some of my appreciation for that. And she pulls from under her coat a necklace with a ruby pendant on it. This is, let's just say it'll help you out in a tight bargain.
All right.
And she'll hand it to you.
Thank you for the gift. And he'll take it and pocket it behind his armor. Yeah. Well, best of luck to you all. and he'll just like step back a little bit and tap the data slate after he's because he didn't really set down any of the gear that he needs. So
as Varush steps back and hits a button on his data slate to send the signal out, there is a rush of wind that gathers in the vicinity around as a circular, almost cyclone begins to build around Varush, as if sucking air out from around him. And then the ground underneath his feet begins to tear as a glowing light portal begins to form underneath his feet. And then it sort of forms like this solid surface that he's standing on, and then it becomes intangible, and he just drops through the bottom of it. And
Feel like, right, there's a beat of silence after Varush disappears. And then Till just looks around. Well, fuck, who's in charge now?
We are.
No.
Aw.
I mean,
It
Do we
makes
need
us
to have another vote, or was there an order? I feel like there was an order that we'd set up.
Coltarn sighs and just continues fiddling with his gun.
We voted. Each
We
member
voted.
gets a vote.
You, Bees, you get one vote. Amongst all of you is one vote. Remember, we've been over this.
It's not fair. And also we tried to steal that pretty pendant and we couldn't. And now Varush is gone.
I'm sure when they
That
come
was
back,
my 13 sleight of hand.
you'll have another
Oh.
chance
To steal from a
to
party
steal
member.
from Varush.
Okay. That seems to cheer Bees up a little bit.
also, if you want to see him again, you probably didn't want to steal that pendant, Jasira says.
Do you have
Uh,
another one?
No,
Also,
that one took a long time to make, actually.
Are
I
you
was, sort
impressed?
of I was sort of hoping to hold on to it for myself, but I figured he'd need it more since he's heading to the front lines.
out of character, if I recall correctly, it was like Till and Coltarn were the second in command.
Yes.
yeah, I think you guys
I
tied.
think
It's
it was,
time
yeah,
for
it
you
was a
guys-
tie.
It's time for you guys to revote.
Fight to the death.
Oh, okay.
Arm wrestling.
Why don't we have all of us vote?
Or a foot race.
Yeah,
Should there be rules about voting? Like Bees only gets one vote.
Bees only gets one vote. Everybody only gets one vote, even though there's multiple like cells or spirits, or I don't know. Trying to make it seem even.
How about like no voting for yourself?
Oh.
I feel like the people who are, don't get me wrong, I could always see that as a possibility, but
She
I feel
looks
like
at
the
Bees.
people who are going, yes, I feel like the people who are going to potentially win will be people who don't vote for themselves.
Bees are already in the process of like drawing another picture of a bee on a piece of paper. Tell them to rip it
Please
up.
vote for someone else.
My
We'll-
statement
we'll-
stands.
We'll do it like this. And Coltarn disconnects himself from his data slate. And
and
just-
then falls over and dies.
exactly. Sets it down.
Oh, one less.
And it sort of like tosses it over towards Till. Tolbar is obviously not going to vote because Tolbar is an artificial intelligence created by myself and would have various things. He's on the data. Input the data, he'll encode it and review it and let us know how the votes.
Excellent. Till will put in a vote.
Are we voting for one person or are we doing it like in order like we did last time?
I would say your top 3 in order.
Aren't there only like 4 of us left?
Technically, there are 5. There are 6 of us left. Of us.
Kendall's not
As has
in
been
the
said
group.
multiple times,
All right.
I'm not
Is-
part of the Dusk
That's
Realm.
nice.
That's
Jasira,
true.
Jasira looks like I could vote, but really, like
Jasira,
We should
and-
all vote for Jasira.
and then Strida
I-
Strida looks over. I don't know any of you well enough to try and decide who.
I actually wasn't counting Strida. I was counting Jasira and Xander,
Right.
and not Kit.
Everybody should vote Jasira. Or Xander. Yeah, Kendall's team Xander. As long as it puts the DM in the extremely uncomfortable position that everybody always puts me in when I'm DM of who's in charge of the party. An NPC. Yes, this is revenge against somebody who's never done it to me, but this is who I get to do it to.
Yes, revenge against me, who has never once been in a game with you as the DM.
This is correct. That said, I can't do it to them, so I've got to do it to someone.
That is the loudest I've ever heard someone say the word motherfucker without saying it out loud.
Legitimately, then, since two of us, there are because Gideon, there's Coltarn, Till, Mistel, Bees, Kendall, Gideon, Syrah, and Xander.
Yes.
So, two then. Let's say two instead of three, because
your top two,
and then whisper them to Shani.
Everyone, whisper me your top twos.
He says.
Wait, am I supposed to vote in this situation?
No.
Okay, I wanted to make sure.
Do it anyways.
I like Mage Hand or something. Sneak votes in. Major illusion.
Illusory script.
Am I the only one whose thing isn't actually popping up properly?
What thing?
What thing?
The whisper in the whisper interface. Hang on, I'm refreshing.
I was able to whisper to the GM. I'm pretty sure.
But...
Roll 20.
No, it's working.
Yeah, I've been whispering.
Yeah. No, it's just roll 20 is being weird for me specifically. It seems. There you go. Are we also out of character? Are we doing don't vote for yourself?
That is the assumed approach that has been taken so far.
Okay. That is the assumed approach. However, is there anything preventing someone from actually voting for themselves?
Yeah, because there's no names on
the
top.
The fact
of
that it's being operated by an AI.
Yeah.
So
Mistel's like hovering over Bees.
Toolbar is
for someone else.
Other bees.
Some bees, other bees.
Left bees. Stop copying little bees.
There.
I vote for helmet bees.
The person with the most votes specifically for first place is Till.
Fuck!
Because
which really means that I'm in charge, right?
I was gonna say
there are two votes for Till in first place, one vote for Coltarn in first place, and one vote for Coltarn in second place.
This is Kendall's ultimate play. This is part of her family heritage. Is she just manipulates her way into the top spot
while not actually being part of the group.
Here's the
right?
trick. Here's the trick, Till. You take leadership and then you abdicate leadership to the second to someone else.
Right. I don't.
The best part of this is the actual, like, it's a callback to our earlier joke about how Kendall's family isn't actually in government; they just control everybody.
Right? Yes,
it really, really is.
It's also a callback to our running joke that Jack is always the one in charge of the party.
Always ends up somehow, even when I try not to be. Somehow ends up being me in charge of the group.
Look,
I was so happy.
Here's
God
the problem,
damn it,
Jack.
Ashlyn, why must you abandon me?
Every time,
I mean, you guys are all welcome to abdicate to my next character.
Every time that you try to that you're like, all right, I'm going to play somebody who would not be a good leader, who is just a nightmare, like a garbage fire of a leader. The problem is everybody else has made worse garbage fires as leaders.
Yeah,
Right?
you got the Grand Terra, you got Grand Terra's level of reprieve with me running Valdet. That's about
Right.
it.
I avoided by
it's-
just not
it's-
being part of the group.
Right.
It's the combination of you making a character that's level-headed enough to be liked, and the fact that someone else made fully logical and reasonable decisions that other people didn't like. So
I don't know why none of y'all voted for bees.
we do.
I was gonna say it's called a sense of self-preservation, and also
So-
don't put children in charge of things.
So what was so there were two
We
votes.
call that
There were 2 votes for Tillin first. Did anyone get it more than 1 vote per second?
Nope.
So then Till, you can take it.
Coltar? All right.
Well, correction, I should say there was a tie for who was voted in second. And Coltong was one of them, and the other one was Mistel.
But yeah, but that's why I asked for more than 1 vote, because any number of us could have gotten 1 vote. All right then. Till, congratulations. You're now a leader of the
Temporarily, and when Varouche comes back, we're voting again.
If he comes back.
I mean,
Assuming direct control.
Look at it this way.
I feel like somewhere Kendall's dad is like gone to go murder Varouche after here.
Look at it this way, Tim. On very few ships is the person in the engine rooms calling the shots from the bridge.
No, that is a fair and valid analysis of a number of traditional power structures on board any number of spacefaring vessels. I'm going to bed.
Not true of dwarven vessels, but for most vessels.
Anyone given Mistel the information that Verush sent them, by the way?
Yes, whoever it wasn't clear exactly who it got sent to. Like
It got sent to Kendall and Till
okay, Kendall absolutely would have passed it on immediately.
because I feel
hey,
like Kendall
Mistel.
especially, interacts with Mistel the most. So
Yep, legit.
Do you know these names, Mistel?
She will look at them and her eyes will get wide. Hmm.
Is this your family?
Those are my parents.
Said they have 3
So-
children.
Well, besides me.
Okay.
Well, that's good luck.
Hmm.
All right. Well, we'll continue on that that vector of pursuit then.
I
We'll
lean over.
continue on that vector of pursuit next time.
Hey!
I lean over to Bees really quick. I said, "It's okay. I think it's weird to only have 3 siblings too."
Say goodbye,
Yeah.
everybody.
Bye!
Does Kendall have siblings?
Good.
Forever. Oh, I'm just kidding.
Kendall has